Alright, how's it going, guys? Really? Nothing?
It's going great!
I'm sorry your night is so horrible. Alright. So last time I did like 3 poems for you guys, and then I did a stand-up bit, having never practiced stand-up at all. I was just like, let me tell you a funny story. I'm going to stick to what I know. I'm going to stick to just poetry. And the first poem I have for you, it's called A Pantome for My Deceased Love. And the thing about pantome is that I never thought I would ever write in this form because it's like old white man poetry bullshit. But it was like the form I needed for this poem, in that one of my former lovers, she died actually 2 years ago as of March 8th. And for a long time I could only ever write things that were negative, things that were from anger or spite and bitterness. And to finally write something positive, it took me having this super cliche, old white man poetry bullshit form of writing to get me past it. So this is a pantome for my deceased love. Did the stars ever stay out to gaze at us when we chased yellow fireflies through the night? Do you think we made them jealous? Cosmic voyeurism of the grass between our toes when we chased yellow fireflies through the night. Upon the field and past the dirt road, cosmic voyeurism of the grass between our toes. Across the docks, the lake mirroring the night sky, upon the field and past the dirt road. The wind's breath leaving our bodies weightless, across the docks, the lake mirroring the night sky. If I was dreaming, thank you for not waking me. The wind's breath leaving our bodies weightless, my hand in yours, and your hand in mine. If I was dreaming, thank you for not waking me. You breathe me in as I breathe you out, my hand in yours, and your hand in mine. Do you think we made them jealous? You breathe me in as I breathe you out. Did the stars ever stay out to gaze at us? That one, along with the other 2 I'm going to be doing tonight, you can all be found in the new undergraduate literary magazine through Augsburg University. I believe it's called Murphy Square. So their 2016 copy of that. Check it out. This next one's called The Good Old Days in the War. The hardest job is often juggling wolves. Even when it's as enchanting as one suitcase who doesn't like going home for the holidays. Keeping status quo and tensions by camping out on the fire escape and ordering takeout through side windows. Except scotch-flavored bruises smell like broken down batteries, choking on indigo stains. So forgive me for selling flashlights in order to keep watering arpeggios with incendiary limbs. But it's kind of charming when we both stop, drop, and roll about through silhouettes. Because acting like jarred bugs only shows the world our asphyxiated character, just like being too freely open brings squeamish shovels into a game of full contact chess. That's why transferring vocal cords in hopes of shooting new frames is as frustrating as licking the aesthetic crumbs of a sailboat painting for sustenance. So, in the meantime, let the crickets stare. Nothing is more beautiful to me than us, and how we tell each other lies about the good old days in the war, because eventually we'll have that conversation. You'll ask, is God dead? Yes, I'll answer you, and we killed her. Alright, this last poem I got for you is called Shiny Objects. Shiny objects. The Weissman Art Museum. The Washington Street Bridge. John Berryman. The spot on the Washington Street Bridge where John Berryman jumped to his death. Students. Students drinking coffee as they fight against the hours of the day. Students riding bikes. The thought of how much I hate students riding bikes when I'm driving. My check engine light. The fact that my check engine light has been on so long now that it's actually starting to get easy to ignore. Trying to find open parking spaces on campus. Realizing there are no open parking spaces on campus. Parking off campus. Speed walking to campus, speed walking into class, being slightly embarrassed that I'm the last one to class, being slightly embarrassed that I'm out of breath from speed walking to class, not being entirely sure which of the two slightly embarrassing scenarios I'm more slightly embarrassed about. Taking notes. Doodling and writing poetry when I'm supposed to be taking notes. Taking more notes. Wandering thoughts, thoughts about how scary adulthood is. Thoughts about not having financial aid fully cover the expenses of your private school liberal arts education. Thoughts about not having the safety net of being on your parents' health insurance plan. Thoughts about not having the safety net of being on anyone's health insurance plan. Realizing you haven't been taking notes for the last 20 minutes and class is ending now. Telling yourself that you'll get the notes off of a PowerPoint, off of Moodle later. Accepting that you totally just lied to yourself about getting notes off of a PowerPoint, off of Moodle later. Fuck Moodle. Fuck whoever created Moodle. Who did create Moodle? Probably Mr. Moodle. Shit, wait, that's not fair. Could have just as easily been Mrs. Moodle. Needing to be more aware of white heterosexual male privilege, calmly walking from class, calmly walking to my car, my check engine light. The fact that my check engine light has been on so long now that it's actually starting to get easy to ignore. Students. Students drinking coffee as they fight against the hours of the day. Students riding bikes. The thought of how much I hate students riding bikes when I'm driving. The Washington Street Bridge. John Berryman. The spot on the Washington Street Bridge where John Berryman jumped to his death. The Weissman Art Museum. Shiny objects. Thank you guys.